That's probably stole it
People
from him.
steal all my shit. Lil Dicky.
Yeah,
maybe
Shameless. Have you
Lil
told
Dicky
that
steals
story?
your shit?
That show steals so many of my jokes, man. It's crazy.
Like the show, Dave?
Actually?
Yeah.
Damn.
That's
what's one joke that you've seen that you're like, that's mine?
Too many.
All right, fair enough.
Wait, that's the Lil Dicky show?
Yep,
Yeah.
Dave.
He's stealing your jokes.
I don't know I don't know what's going on, but they got a lot of barred content up in that bitch. I'll say that.
Huh.
But that's all right.
So you hate him?
I don't know him. But I know I don't borrow his shit.
Fair enough.
Okay.
What up, y'all? It's your boy on Socks. Back at it with another video. It's been a while, man. I've been working on something really cool for the last 9 days, man. And I was like, man, I got to get an upload out. And I know there's a lot of content right now that I'm missing out on, which I'm going to have to catch up on. But I did happen to catch this just recently from a podcast I was watching. The Andrew Schultz just uploaded to where Lil Dicky responds to Theo Von. Y'all know about that stolen joke accusation related to the wooden shirt joke, which I made a video about that like a long time ago. And it seems to be now being talked about more mainstream wise. I remember he did a interview on Barstool and it got like 300,000 views on their podcast at the time. But then it like blew over and everybody just quit talking about it. But for whatever reason, I guess since he was the guest on Andrew Schultz's podcast, they had decided to ask him that question.
There was that stuff with Theo Von. He was upset. Like, how do you deal with something like that?
I'm happy that you brought that up. So I have never stolen any jokes whatsoever.
But like, how do you handle that? Like, I don't think that.
Well, that particular instance, I think to myself, well, I don't understand why he would think that I haven't stolen, to catch. I don't know if you guys are aware of the context of it. And I only recently am aware because I saw a comment that
It was just on the internet. And
Yeah.
I think he was doing like a Barstool show. And you guys both had a similar idea in the show. Right?
Yeah.
Like he had it in something, and then you had it, I guess.
Podcast
he said it on
about
a pod.
the wooden
and then,
shirt thing.
Yeah, it was like a wooden shirt, and then you guys had it in the show.
Now, I remember when we came up with the wooden stuff in the writer's room, and it was totally built on a different idea that was about like a man whose entire house was made of wood down to the clothing. Yeah. And then we ended up not going with that storyline.
Yeah.
Ended up doing one small, really inconsequential scene of my series where a guy was just selling wooden shirts.
Yeah.
I promise you it wasn't, whenever I see content of Theo Von's online as I'm scrolling, I totally think it's funny and I respect it. I've got no animosity. I've just never met him. We have so many mutual friends.
Yeah.
I always was under the understanding that like accusing a comedian of stealing jokes is like a major taboo.
It's
big
the biggest,
It's a big deal.
I was like, well, just reach out to me and let's, because
Yeah.
I have nothing but respect from what I see of his content online, but I never have stolen any joke. That's really my immediate reaction.
Yeah.
It's not like, I'm not hurt by it. I'm just like, why would he be so insistent that when I never would.
Right. Two people can't have the same idea.
It's a pretty broad idea, like the idea of wooden clothing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
On Andrew Schultz's behalf, bro, I feel like this man knows everything about the internet, bro. Like, he really pays attention. Like, when I watch his podcast, he asks the best questions, bro. Like, that's what podcasts are about. Like, when you interview people, you got to bring entertainment value. You got to bring something that people are going to want to click on that video and watch it. And to have now a continuation of Theo Von and Lil Dicky, having Lil Dicky's side of the story, I mean, that just like connects everything. And then on top of that, we get to see in this interview where he says, yo, I got to connect you and Theo Von. Y'all gotta work this out.
Yeah.
Have you guys spoken at all?
No.
Why don't you guys just talk? Why not?
Yeah, I would.
Because I think a lot of times what would happen in these situations is, both sides explain their part, and then you go, oh, okay, I see why these two different comedians came to this conclusion, and it wasn't somebody that's trying to bite.
I'm definitely down to. I have no beef with him whatsoever. I don't like when if I post something and I see like stop stealing Theo's jokes. Like it's just I never have done that.
Yeah.
And I think there's only one joke in question. It's not like I've made like a career. You know what I mean? I don't even know what other jokes were even questioning.
In 3 seasons of television.
Right.
One joke.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think like now with the internet, there are so many more people putting things out that the possibility of two people having a similar idea is infinitely higher than back in the day where there would be 10 comedy specials a year.
Yeah.
And you just need to cross over in those 10. Now you have a million pieces of content that are out there in the world. And you're gonna see people with similar ideas. You see it happen with memes. You see it happen with, written pieces. You see all these types of things. So I don't think it like immediately means that one person is stealing from another.
All I know is that my soul feels very pure and clean. Like I
just think you guys are both great, and I would love you guys to both just be like, hey,
set it up. You're friends with everybody. Right?
I will set that up.
And bro, if they had Theo Von and Lil Dicky on a podcast, bro, I would love to see that. Because I don't think a podcast has ever done something like that before. Having somebody that has an issue with another person and you put both of them on the show to let them settle it publicly, bruh. And knowing how like comedy has became so freaking controversial as of 2024 from Cat Williams, I mean, it would be the most genius move, in my opinion, to do if I was Andrew Schultz. Like, if you're going to think of, like, how can I have the most entertaining podcast episode of all time? Yo, put them on that bitch and see what they have to say about each other. Like, that shit would be insane. Now, just to give a little more backstory of this whole situation, like I said, I made a video about this a while ago, but I'll just make another breakdown on that exact video. So, Theo Von obviously was on the Barstool clip. He said what he said about jokes being stolen. People began to upload like an old Joe Rogan episode where he talks about a wooden t-shirt.
Oh.
But we didn't even need him.
That?
No money in it. Really, I think he was probably an alcoholic. But he had 4 kids, and one of them he made. I was walking home one night, and I heard him in the garage, and he's making like a sun, like a for Christmas, like a wooden shirt, like a, there you go. Not as nice. That one is nice.
Wooden shirt.
Yeah, can you get
that's
more?
But that's like a sculpture.
Yeah, that's nice. Can you get
crazy.
one more that's like
if you
wood
go over
patterns.
someone's house and they have a wooden shirt on a hanger, and they think that's cute, just leave.
No.
These people are assholes.
Now this kid needed it because people used
That's
to
a
beat
wooden
this
shirt,
kid
too?
up. Is that salmon?
Sculpture, yeah.
Yeah, it's a framed wooden shirt.
That looks like
People used to
salmon.
beat him up because of his wooden shirt.
No, people used to beat him up anyway on the bus.
Well, the wooden shirt would protect you from a lot of shots.
And
Is
it
that
helped.
the idea?
And it helped.
He didn't wear that wooden shirt. You better shut the fuck up.
I swear to God he did.
To then showing the Lil Dicky episode where you see the bit itself.
Yep. All these shirts are 100% wood.
Look at you.
First wheel ever.
You're like Muhammad Ali.
Where they have like this kid in a wooden type of shirt. And if you go on Twitter, there's even like a tweet where somebody had said that Lil Dicky was stealing his jokes. And then Theo Von had like the eye emoji. So there is like a storyline there, bro. Like there are pieces of like this whole entire shit that's been developing for a while to now getting a response from Lil Dicky himself, and then the possibility of Theo coming on the podcast to talk about it. We may actually get to the bottom of it finally. Like maybe Theo's really gonna be like, all right, let me tell y'all what it is. Cause like that's what I think people want to hear the most is like what type of jokes were actually stolen. We hear this wooden shirt joke, but like what is like a lot of jokes? Cause he says supposedly a lot of jokes were stolen in that Barstool episode. So I think he most definitely, now that this is on Andrew Schultz podcast, is going to have to be a little bit more detailed on everything just to clear the air, which I think will be fire. But yeah, man, I hope you guys enjoy this video. Make sure to smash that like button. I gratefully appreciate it. And as always, it's been your boy on Socks. See you later.